All right, this isn't just another new neighborhood. This is a community that is about to change the game in the Greater Sacramento area. Liberty and Lincoln is unlike anything that you've seen here. We're talking brand new homes by Richmond and Woodside set in a master plan community so well thought out it feels more like you're on vacation at a private resort than living in a suburb. Picture waking up and strolling to the clubhouse with the gleaming pool, state-of-the-art fitness center, and outdoor lounge areas designed for gathering, relaxing, and soaking up this California sunshine. Spend your weekends exploring scenic trails, unwinding at the dog parks, or grabbing a glass or a pint on the Placer County Wine and Ale Trail just minutes away. But here's the twist. Despite all of this, you can still find homes at prices that will absolutely shock you for what you're getting. The kind of value that makes you wonder, how long will this even last? And there's one little detail about Liberty that most buyers don't even know yet. Something that could decide whether or not you're gonna miss this chance entirely. Welcome back. In today's video, we've got two awesome builders that have just opened up models within the past month. So we are going to be touring one floor plan by each of these builders, breaking down the pricing and incentives for the homes that are being offered. We're also going to be showcasing what life in this brand new master plan community is going to be like and how special Lincoln is as a town. All right, next is going to be Woodside Homes' newest neighborhood inside the master plan Liberty community, a place that is designed for that small town feel with big time amenities. In this neighborhood, Woodside is building 4 different floor plans. They're going to have 3 of them modeled, but they're going to be ranging anywhere from 1933 all the way up to 2427 square feet. Today, we're going to be touring their Justice floor plan, which is going to be, in my personal opinion, my favorite floor plan. It's going to be 2419 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, with prices starting in the low 630s, going all the way up to the high 670s, depending on upgrades and lot sizes. So let's go ahead, head inside and take a look. All right, now coming into this floor plan, I like how you have this kind of like drop zone entryway. So this is gonna be nice. You're gonna have a stairwell that's gonna go right up to the 2nd floor. And then this is going to give you a little bit more of that open space. So you can put, you know, a desk here, you can put a nice little landing. You can kind of build out one of those drop zones with the cabinets and the shoes spot. So that way you're not tracking in the rest of the dirt coming into the rest of the home. All right, so moving backward, we're gonna have a really nice and upgraded home. The nice thing about this particular floor plan is you're gonna have a lot of open space. So right as you walk in, you're gonna have one of the things that Woodside always showcases really nicely is gonna be their kitchen. Now, this is gonna have a little bit more of that modern cabinet design. You're gonna have a really beautiful quartz countertop. We haven't really seen this kind of design of quartz countertop with a nice glossy finish gray with kind of the dark, deeper gray veins. Now, I really like the sink in the middle of the island. I know Lauren sometimes likes the kitchen sink to be away in kind of one of the perimeter cabinets. I really like this. I like the kind of openness to the main living area space, but again, you have plenty of room here. This is a nice long island. They've got 4 bar stools set up. So again, you could be cooking in the kitchen. You've got good proximity to your stove. You've got good proximity to your refrigerator, your pantry, and it's got a pretty oversized pantry here, but I just like how this is kind of that nice open gathering space and it's right in close proximity. Now over here, behind the refrigerator, you are going to have your pantry cabinet. Now this is gonna be a really nice sized pantry. You're gonna have shelving on both sides of the pantry, and you're gonna have the nice understair storage that's usually kind of wasted space when you see it in a coat closet or somewhere underneath the staircase. So as we come back into the main living area, you're also gonna have a nice little landing zone here. So right off of the kitchen, you're gonna have another set of cabinets. Good stuff for storage. This is gonna be your entryway into your garage, so it's nice and easy right to the kitchen. And then you're gonna have a half bathroom downstairs, which is gonna be available for all of your guests. So this particular floor plan is not going to have the downstairs bedroom, but if you do want a downstairs bedroom, their slightly bigger floor plan that's gonna be bigger by about 10 square feet will have that downstairs bedroom. So they have options for both. Now, this is gonna be the main living space. It's gonna be shared with your dining room space and your kitchen, but plenty big. You're gonna have a lot of room in here for a nice giant sectional. You've got a big TV wall. You could probably put an 80 to 100-inch TV on this wall, perfect for watching sporting events. And then the other thing I really love is you have a lot of natural light. You've got some windows over on the one side of the living room. You've got some windows that face towards your backyard. And then the nice thing is with this particular Woodside development, you have a big, beautiful covered patio that we're gonna check out. Now these backyards aren't gonna be super big because a lot of people are going to probably be utilizing that clubhouse, but you still have some space back here. And then again, I love when a builder puts this nice built-in covered patio into the roof line of the house. It's a nice area. You have pre-wire for some fans. You got some overhead lighting, just especially when it's hot. We haven't had too bad of summers this summer, but it's a nice place where you can gather, you can come outside, you can have a table out here. So let's go check out the upstairs, the loft, the primary bedroom, and all those secondary bedrooms. All right, so the staircase is gonna be back towards the front of the house. We're gonna come upstairs and check out some of those secondary bedrooms. All right, since all of the secondary and the primary bedrooms are upstairs, we do have a little bit of a smaller loft here. This isn't a huge loft, but it is still kind of nice, and it still gives you that extra space. I know a lot of times in Woodside homes, we'll see that vaulted ceiling or that big grand entryway that goes all the way up to the second floor. And a lot of times you guys don't really like that concept because a lot of times that's just wasted livable space. So this is a good use of space. They have it designed as kind of that upstairs kids living room, loft living room, but you could easily put some desks in here if you were going to try to do some homeschooling, or you just wanted a nice little study space that wasn't inside of the, you know, kids' bedrooms. Now, to my right, your left, is going to be the primary bedroom and an office. We're going to save that until the very end. We're going to check out some of these other secondary bedrooms. Now, to my right, your left, is going to be the first secondary bathroom. Now, it's going to be spacious. It's going to have the double vanity sinks, the shower over tub, and it's also going to give you an example of some of the options and upgrades that you can choose out in a Woodside home. So I know sometimes some of these builders do packages and they do things that you're not able to actually customize or design. So if you're coming in and you're getting here at dirt, you definitely have a lot of options. Sometimes the Woodside Design Center can be a little overwhelming. So checking this out and seeing some of these options, tile backsplash, quartz countertops, modern cabinets. To my left is going to be the laundry room. Now, it's going to feel a little bit darker, but again, you're gonna have uppers and lowers. There's also gonna be a sink in here as well too. So if you need to wash out a stain, some of those football jerseys or pants that you got to clean out, you got your nice washer and dryer that's going to be upstairs, and then you've got a window. So really like it, really like how this is upstairs, but it's not really next to the primary. Then at the end of the hall, we're going to have two of the secondary bedrooms. Now this first one is going to be towards the front of the house. You're going to have a big window and a little window that's going to let in plenty of light, but you're going to have your sliding closet doors, pretty spacious actually. So this is a little bit deeper than a lot of sliding closet doors that you typically see. So there's probably about another foot in that closet of depth. So you have a little bit more space. This is a full-size bed with two pretty decent sized nightstands on either side. And then you still have the really tall ceilings in here. So if you have to double up on bunks or if you have to have a second kid in the room, you still have plenty of space, and then you got a dresser. Now in the room across from that is pretty much going to be a mirror image. You're gonna have another window. This is gonna be facing towards the side of the house. And again, full-size bed, two decent sized nightstands, nice and tall ceilings, and then directly behind Lauren is where the sliding closet door is. Now that one's gonna be a little bit smaller than the one that we saw across the hall, but let's go check out that little office that's next to the primary and finish off with the master. All right, now coming down the hallway, right before we get into the primary, is going to be another bedroom upstairs. Now they have this one kind of designed as more of a craft room. They have hardwood flooring in here where they had carpet in some of those other rooms, but this is easily your fourth bedroom upstairs. That is kind of built out for a closet. They just don't have it built out. They have shelving in there, but this is kind of an example. You can turn this into an office. You can keep this as a craft room. You can have it whatever you want it to be, but different structural options are going to be dependent on when you get into the process. My guess is a lot of times this is going to be converted into that fourth bedroom. Now, right here, you would imagine it would be a linen closet. This is actually a coat closet upstairs. So if your kids don't want to store their coats in their closet, they can store them in the outside hallway. But then you're gonna come into the primary. Now the thing I love about Woodside is they still put nice finishes and features into their primary bedroom. They're nice size, they're big, but they're not ridiculously big where you have a couch and all this other stuff. So for the home being 2,400 square feet, this is still a decent size primary suite. It again takes up the entire back side of the house. So you're gonna have a nice king size bed, two decent sized nightstands, and then you have still plenty of space for your dresser, mirror above that. But coming back into this way, you're gonna have your standard shower, double vanity his and hers sink, and then again, a lot of space in here. You have your water closet back here that's gonna be next to your shower. You're gonna have your standard shower stall walk-in. Again, just different examples of the different types of options and upgrades that you can do in a Woodside home. So they definitely give you a ton of different things that you can do. And then coming all the way here to the end, you're gonna have your primary closet. Again, decent space. And then this is also where they're gonna have the technology panel in here. So you've got plenty of room in here, but let's be entirely honest, girls, this is your closet. Guys, you get that little hall closet that's gonna be out in the hallway. So that's probably why they put that there, is because girls get this closet. Guys, you get that closet out there. So make sure you stick around, because we're gonna be talking about pricing and incentives at both of those communities. We're gonna be talking about the third community that's gonna be coming up in the Liberty area, and we're gonna touch on a couple of other things as it relates to Lincoln as a city. Now, before we jump into our next section, if this is your first time on the channel, we are Lance and Lauren with the Living in Sacramento team, where we make videos sharing exactly what it's like living and moving to the Greater Sacramento Metro. From neighborhood deep dives to cost of living and everything in between, there's no one bringing you videos quite like we do. We know the reps, we know the incentives, the phases, the timelines, and the new homes that never hit Zillow. So if you're wanting more information about these builders that we're showcasing today, or any builder that we featured on the channel, or heck, you're just thinking about making the move to the Greater Sacramento area, we are also licensed real estate agents in the state of California, which means that as much as we love making these videos, we absolutely love helping you more with all of your real estate needs. So that phone number is going to be popping up. We are the ones that answer every phone call, email, and text message, or better yet, you can scan that QR code, book your one-on-one strategy session, and we can help put together the best game plan that's right for you on making the move to the Greater Sacramento Metro.
All right, let's talk about the town of Lincoln, California, because Liberty isn't just about the homes, it's about where you get to live. Lincoln sits in the northwestern part of Placer County, just north of Rockland and Roseville and west of the Sierra foothills. You're roughly 35 to 40 minutes to Sacramento International Airport, and about 40 to 45 minutes to downtown Sacramento, and still within an easy drive to Roseville, Rockland, and even Lake Tahoe.
Now, the cool thing about Lincoln is really going to be divided into maybe 5 or 6 different areas. So you're gonna have one area of Lincoln that's gonna be dedicated to your 55 and up communities like Sun City, Lincoln, or Esplanade at Turkey Creek. You're gonna have Lincoln Crossing, which is going to be the original master plan community that had the clubhouse and the HOA and the beginning stages of Melrose. Then you're going to have the newer area that's going to have some newer construction homes for families at 12 Bridges, which is going to be the first exit as you're coming into Lincoln. And then you're going to have kind of the existing town of Lincoln that was going to be built around Lincoln Boulevard, or the old Highway 65, that you see homes that were built as early as the 1920s, 30s, 40s, all the way out to the 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s. And then you have a completely different area of Lincoln that doesn't get highlighted nearly enough, and those are going to be all the ranches and kind of the rural properties that are going to be past the Gladdy McBean factory, all the way out to Camp Far West, and then all the way over to kind of like Newcastle, Penryn, all the way up into the Placer County Wine and Ale Trail. So it's definitely going to be a mix of custom builds and established neighborhoods. Now, the average price is going to hover somewhere between the mid 600s, but you can find homes as low as, you know, the high 480s, low 500s over in the 12 Bridges area. Those are going to be kind of smaller townhomes, newer construction. You're going to have luxury gated community over at Verdera around the Catavadera Golf Club. That's going to be a private guard gated community. And then you're going to have ranch properties that are going to range anywhere from the low 1 millions all the way up to the low to mid 5 millions.
Now, for things to do, Lincoln's got quite a little bit of everything. You've got quaint downtown streets with local shops and restaurants, the farmers markets in the warmer months, seasonal parades and festivals, and even the Thunder Valley Casino Resort for concerts and entertainment. You're only minutes away from Placer County Wine and Ale Trail, and if you love the outdoors, you're close to Folsom Lake, Hidden Falls Regional Park, and the Sierra foothills, which are all within a short drive. Now, families will be happy to know that Lincoln falls within highly rated school districts like Western Placer Unified, and the area has a reputation for strong community involvement in its schools.
Now, when it comes to eating out, one of our local favorites is going to be Old Town Pizza. That's going to be a Lincoln staple. Now, if you're a coffee person, we just checked out Crumb. Obviously, you see me eating the carrot cake cupcake, and this thing was absolutely delicious. You're also going to have places like Hops and Hogs Country Smokehouse. You're going to have Lincoln Chinese food, which has also been around forever. Birinati's Italian restaurant. And I'm sure they'll put something back in the Beer Mills building, but honestly, Lincoln has got a ton of great restaurants. Now, when it comes to traffic, honestly, Lincoln is going to be a lot calmer than Roseville and Rockland, but I will say the downside from when we lived here and people are currently still experiencing it is going to be the congestion during the morning and evening commutes, especially on Highway 65. Now, if you got to go into downtown Sacramento, there are some back roads that you can take that'll kind of bypass that Highway 65, but sometimes in the morning, that 65 congestion, right as you kind of get into that Roseville Galleria, it just bottlenecks as you're getting onto Highway 80.
Now for weather, you're getting the full Sacramento Valley experience. You've got hot, dry summers, perfect for pool days, and mild, cool winters with the occasional rainy stretch. Plus, all that open space around here means more blue sky days and stunning sunsets over the rolling hills.
So which is going to be perfect for the brand new Liberty Clubhouse. So let's go ahead and jump back into that second model tour, but make sure you stick around until the very end because we will be talking to you about the pricing, the incentives, what the HOA is going to be here, the Mellorees of this community, all the things that are going to be pertinent for you to make a decision of whether or not this brand new master plan Liberty community is going to be right for you.
All right, guys, for our second stop, we're here at Noble at Liberty in Lincoln. Now, Richmond American's newest neighborhood inside the master plan Liberty community. So Liberty is designed for that small town vibe with big amenities. Think parks, trails, top rated schools, and a future resort style clubhouse that's gonna be a game changer for all residents living here. Now here at Noble, Richmond offers 3 different floor plans, 2 of which are modeled, and today we're gonna walk through something brand new for this area. This floor plan I'm gonna take you through is called the Twain, and we haven't seen it built at any other Richmond American community in the Greater Sacramento area. At 2,510 square feet, this plan features 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a bright open design that works well for busy families as well as for entertaining. Now, pricing in this community starts around $669,000 and tops out near $690,000 depending on the plan, the lot, and the upgrades. All right, so guys, as you first come in this home, you're gonna notice it's definitely different than what we've seen before. This entry is gonna have tall, wide, up high ceilings. It's gonna go all the way up to the second floor, kind of giving you that bigger open feeling. You are gonna have stairs that are gonna shoot right off of the entry. We'll check out the upstairs after we tour the downstairs. But as you come further back, this is gonna be the first secondary bedroom. It's gonna be up towards the front of the home. Now this is gonna be a decent sized bedroom. They have a full size bed in here. They've got some pretty big nightstands over here. Again, I love all of the natural lighting that you can see in here. You've got a window from the side, also a big window that faces towards the front. And the other cool thing about this home is right outside that window, you actually have an out front porch area, which is pretty cool, especially on those Halloween nights. One thing that we do know about Lincoln is Lincoln really gets into all of the different fun events throughout the year. So I can just picture Halloween in this neighborhood, hanging out on your front porch with tons of trick-or-treaters coming by. Now, coming out of that bedroom, walking further back towards the living room area, before we get there, this is going to be a full bathroom downstairs. So you are gonna have a walk-in shower, you're gonna have your toilet, your single vanity sink. Now, the nice thing is this is a pretty wide bathroom right here. So if maybe you've got a parent that has to live with you or a college-age kiddo, or maybe you have a disabled family member, this is gonna be a nice spot because it's definitely pretty wide still. It's not as cramped as some of the downstairs bathrooms that we see sometimes. Now, coming out of that bathroom, this door is going to be your coat closet for all of our crazy winters. Just kidding, we don't have crazy winters. Maybe you throw a hoodie in there or something, or a raincoat for every once in a while. But coming back further into the home, this is gonna be your kitchen area. This is gonna have that big open great room feeling, which we all love. Now, my favorite thing about this kitchen is this massive island. So you do have a sink in the island, which a lot of you guys know is not usually my favorite thing, but I don't really care when the island is this big. There's plenty of space, prep work to do everything you need. Heck, I could even picture doing like a big charcuterie board type thing for game nights, tons of space to host and entertain, and have everything out that you need. Now, coming back this way, you are gonna have a little small pantry, but nice that it does have a door. It's not a cabinet. Decent sized shelves to be able to see everything that's actually in there. All right, and then coming back this way, you are gonna have a tons of counter space in this kitchen. You do have in this floor plan an electric oven, but one thing that the sales agent did tell us is that all of the homes that Richmond American is building out here They all are stubbed for gas behind this. But if you are someone who wants to go with the induction side of things, you could always swap that range out, do an induction. Or if you're someone who wants gas, you still get gas here, even though you don't see it in this floor plan right now. Now, coming back further, this is probably one of my favorite parts of the downstairs, is this kind of sunroom area that they built. So it does extend, you can kind of see it's cased out. But the nice thing about this is you can fit a massive table here. So instead of it being like a small nook table that you're trying to cram people in between a living room and a kitchen, it's nice that you have this designated dining space, but it's also close to the kitchen, also close to the living room. And I love that they gave you the slider out here, out to your covered patio. So you still have a lot of natural light. You've got a slider on this side, you've got 3 windows that face towards the back. And one thing to note is that a lot of you guys do tell us all the time that you want the house that has the covered patio. This is the only floor plan that Richmond American is offering that's going to have the built-in covered patio. It will have can lighting out there and it'll be stubbed for a fan, so you can add whatever kind of fan feature. But if you want the covered patio, the Twain, this one is gonna be the one that you want. Now, walking back this way, this is going to be your living room area. So this living room is gonna still be open towards the kitchen, which is really nice. It's a big open area, tons of natural lighting. Again, 2 gorgeous windows that are gonna frame your massive TV over there. You could probably do, I don't even know how big the biggest TV is anymore, 90 inches, 100 inches, whatever. You could fit it there between those 2 windows. And then you have a nice big window that's gonna face out towards your backyard. All right, now let's go check out the upstairs and see why I love this floor plan. All right, now coming upstairs, we're gonna head all the way back this way, check out the loft area first. Now coming back to this corner, this loft is gonna appear somewhat small, but it's actually pretty spacious. I probably wouldn't have set up the furniture the way that they did. You could definitely put a TV on that wall. This could be a really cool kids living room area, study area. If you're in a younger season of kid life, this could definitely be a little playroom where all of the toys are upstairs, not downstairs. But definitely a lot of space over here, a lot of natural lighting still. Just a perfect spot for your kids to hang out upstairs. All right, then coming back this way, this is gonna be your laundry room. So this is gonna be a little bit of a smaller laundry room. Don't have space for a folding station or a sink in here, but definitely gets the job done. Perfect spot for your washer and dryer, nice little shelf. One thing I do like about the placement of where they put this laundry room, I do like that it's not by your primary bedroom, so you're not gonna be listening to your laundry when you try to do it and you're going to bed in the middle of the night. It's also not gonna keep your kids awake if you have younger kids and you're trying to do bedtime early and still get laundry done. So I love that it's kind of back on the other corner of the house away by itself. All right, then coming back this way, back towards the back corner of the home, this is going to be your secondary bedroom, the first of the secondary bedrooms upstairs. So it is gonna be still a pretty big size room. You still have obviously the high ceilings. You've got a big size bed in here. You've got 2 decent sized nightstands, a pretty big dresser over here. And I love the way they did the windows in this corner room. I love that you have a window that faces towards the back. You also have a window that faces towards the side. But not only that, I love the placement of the windows. They're not centered on a wall, so it really gives you a lot of options for how you could arrange your furniture. So if you've got kids that maybe need to share a room, you could do a bunk bed on this wall, you could go that way with it, you could go this way with it. Plenty of different options to arrange your furniture in here based on your needs. All right, now coming out of that bedroom, between the 2 secondary bedrooms is going to be your secondary bathroom upstairs. So this is a pretty decent sized bathroom that your kiddos can share. You're gonna have 2 sinks, perfect for those kids, especially if you've got girls that don't like to share sinks, don't like to brush their teeth together in one sink. It's nice to have the space for people to kind of utilize both sinks at the same time in your secondary bathroom. You do have your shower over tub, just a decent sized bathroom for kids to share. All right, and then coming back to the other corner of the home, this is going to be the last of the secondary bedrooms. So again, this is gonna be a pretty decent sized room. They have it set up like a nursery. You do have 1 window that faces the back of the home. So this room is gonna be a little bit darker than the other secondary bedroom, but still plenty of sunlight that can come in through the 1 back window. You do have your standard sliding closet door over here. Perfect spot if you've got a younger kiddo, maybe someone who naps during the day. Nice that you don't have all the extra windows in this room. All right, and then across from that room, before we get there, this is going to be your linen closet or storage closet. I do like how deep it is. You got plenty of space in here for your linen stuff. If you want to store maybe a vacuum in the corner or something, definitely a lot of space to do so in there. Now coming towards the front of the home, you're gonna have this massive primary suite. So this thing is pretty big. You've got tons of natural lighting with 2 windows that are gonna face towards the front of the home. You have this whole kind of like sitting area that they did over here, and then just this massive spot right here that's kind of open. So it is a pretty big room. Lots of different things that you could do in here if you needed to maybe put a desk in here or like towards the side, or if you wanted to do a sitting area. Lots of space to do so in this room. All right, now coming back this way, this is gonna be your primary bathroom. So you're gonna have his and hers vanity sink. You are gonna have your walk-in shower. You're gonna have another linen closet over here. So when he forgets to get his towel while he's in the shower, you don't have to run down the hallway to grab it. He can grab it himself. And then you've got a water closet over here. The nice thing about this water closet is it does have a window, so it's not like a dark hole that we see in some models. I do really like that, especially if you're someone who likes to scroll on your phone or something. Now coming towards the back, this is going to be your primary closet. Plenty of space, pretty big still. Definitely enough space for all of her stuff. You might want to add a second rack to give him a little bit of hanging space, but gets the job done.
All right, so if you're still watching and you're loving the content, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and drop us a comment if you've got questions about Liberty or Lincoln in general. What are your must-haves in your new construction home? Let us know below. We reply to every comment personally, and if you're ready to schedule that private one-on-one Zoom consultation, the link will be in the video description down below. Now, there is a third builder that's not open here yet, but when they do open up, we will be the first to get you into those homes. So let's talk about some of the numbers and the incentives for the 2 builders that we showcased today. So this entire community will have access to the clubhouse, and that's going to have an HOA of about $125 starting out, and then once the community is built out, it's going to drop to about $90. Now, Woodside is going to have 4 different floor plans. They have 3 of them modeled. One of them wasn't modeled, but just to give you some ideas and some perspectives, their first and their smallest floor plan, which is going to be Honor, very patriotic American names, that's going to be 1933 square feet. It's going to be a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom with a flex space and a 2-car garage. Those pricing is actually going to start under $600K on those homes. So starting off they have one available that you can still choose out some of your options and upgrades and finishes and features. That's going to be starting at $592 at the time of recording this video. Then they're going to have Courage. That one's going to be $2151. That one's going to be a 2.5 bathroom. They're going to have pricing starting at $642 and go all the way up to $668. Then the Justice floor plan, which we took you through, that one's going to be the 4-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, 2419 square feet, no downstairs bedroom, but that one's going to have $631 all the way up to $679. And then the last one is going to be their Triumph floor plan. That one's going to be 4 to 5 bedrooms with a downstairs bedroom, 3 bathrooms, 2-car garage, and that one's going to start off at $641 and go all the way up to $686. Now, HOA is going to be $125. Property tax rate is going to be 1.06, and there is going to be Melrose that's going to be about $5,400 a year, which is going to break out to just a little over $400 per month.
All right, so one thing to note is that this community does feed to the 12 Bridges High School in Lincoln, which is going to be the newer high school. It's actually where we're at right now. It has a new modern feel. They offer a lot of technical programs here as well. Now, at the time of recording this video, the other schools that this community is going to feed to is going to be Scott Lehman Elementary School, which is about 0.8 miles away, and then it's going to feed to the 12 Bridges Middle School. Now, one thing to note is there is planned for a K-8 school that will be built out here eventually, so eventually you won't have to commute your K-8 kids out of the community. All right, so pricing for the Richmond American homes. Now, they have 3 different floor plans. 2 of them are modeled. The first floor plan they have is going to be called the Tourmaline. It's going to be 2,670 square feet. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2-car garage home. Now, the next floor plan they have is going to be the Twain. This is the floor plan that I walked you through. It's going to be 2,510 square feet. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. It has a 2-car garage. One of the bedrooms is on the first floor. Now, their largest home is going to be the Amolite floor plan. We've seen this at other communities as well. This home is going to be a 3,030 square foot home. It's going to be a 5-bedroom, 3-bath home, 2-car garage. It does have the option for an in-law suite, or you can do a 5-bedroom with a dining room.
So the pricing on this is going to range anywhere from $669 on the tourmaline all the way up to $690 for that Amylite. So again, keep that in mind at the time of recording this video. That's what the pricing is going to be. Obviously, as they continue to build out, those pricing structure is going to increase. The tax is going to be 1.05. I'm not sure why it's going to be a little bit different than Woodside, but Melrose is going to be again at $449, and then the HOA again is going to be $125. And the other cool thing at this community is that the solar is going to be included.
Now, one thing we always stress is don't walk into these models without your own agent. Now, the reps are amazing, but they represent the builder. We represent you. So we've helped tons of buyers negotiate better deals, extra upgrades, and we also know what's coming in future phases and where we can push on the builder when it comes to extra incentives for you.
So here's the thing, bottom line, Liberty and Lincoln is going to be one of the most sought after master plan communities in the entire Sacramento metro. We just don't have these resort style clubhouses in a lot of the areas of the Sacramento. So resort style amenities, trusted builders, a growing small town vibe, and proximity to everything that you need. So if this looks like your dream setup, go ahead and reach out. That phone number is going to be popping up. We love to show you around, set up a private tour, and help you figure out if this is going to be the right move for your family.
And if you're relocating from out of the area, we do relocation consultations every single week. Just book a Zoom call. It's no pressure. We talk through your lifestyle, your budget, your timeline, and neighborhoods that are actually going to match your goals for your family.
All right, see you guys on the next one.